Well, it is 10:01. We can go ahead and get started. Good morning to the new Teams edition and the Wednesday edition to Coffee and Conversations. Uh, Thank you for y'all all coming on the call today. Um, Cherie is at a meeting. Elizabeth is in Greece. I'm jealous. So you have Ebony and I holding down the fort today, and Ebony is actually coming to us from Cincinnati, Ohio, visiting family. So we're all over the place today, all over the globe, all over the United States. So we're just happy to have you here today. I know that Teams is a little bit different, so bear with us as we're also still learning like how to do these large presentations and coffee and conversations in Teams. But it should work just the same as Zoom. Like you should be able to unmute yourself. I think everybody at this point is probably aware how to use like Teams and Zoom and all that stuff in the world we live in. So um, we'll just go ahead and get started. We're glad you could come and catch up and learn something new with us. And so just a little quick housekeeping. As always, we are recording this. We will have the link out later if you want to look at it later. We'll have it up on the YouTube so y'all can share with your board members that this definitely counts as training for everyone, even if you watch it later. So if you have questions, feel free again to drop them in the chat, unmute yourself, ask a question, same as always. We do want to welcome some of our regional representatives. I did see Karin on here. Hey, Karin. And I thought I saw Tina hop on. So we're happy to have all of our teammates from DCA on the call. So I'm just going to hop right into some updates from us. First up, MOUs are due by July 1st. Please don't forget, I do have a majority of everyone's MOUs like in hand. I will be putting those all into your MOU folders in your Dropbox. So if everyone has signed, you can start looking probably next week and they'll start showing up in there. If you don't see it or you're not sure, I will be sending out emails to those communities that have not had all of their signatures yet. So just keep an eye out on that if you're not sure. So I will stay on top of it, but just don't forget they're due by July 1st. Also, registration is open for Mobilize Main Street. We're excited about this year's round of training and tours. And so you can find the registration link in the chat. I'll put it in there in a few minutes. And then, of course, social media and our website. And as you know, like these spots are limited. So if you want to go and you want to make sure you have a spot, go ahead and sign up for it. We are also hosting Main Street 101 at the conference in Gainesville in August. So if you have board members or yourself needs to be trained up and you want to do it in person, this is a perfect time for that. You can register for that while you register for the Georgia Downtown Conference. And then also Cherie is actually at a Georgia Chamber event today, and she sent us this to give an update. And I've just made a post in the managers group. The coolest thing made in Georgia. It's like a bracket competition. So I'm going to read. I don't know that much about it, so I'm just going to read the explanation. But it says, this is an exciting new program designed to celebrate and showcase the incredible talents of Georgia-based companies. Innovative competition invites business owners, manufacturers, makers, and creators across the state to enter their products into a social media bracket where they will compete head-to-head in a series of rounds determined by public voting. If you have somebody in your downtown that makes something really cool, definitely nominate them. I think that would be kind of a fun accolade to have. But nominations are due this Friday. I will also put the link for that in the chat. So you can see that, but if you miss that, don't get it or think about it later, I posted it in the managers group. Okay, so normally we would turn this over to GDA, but a majority of the board members are actually at CDP training today in Atlanta. So they're all busy and they sent us some updates to give, and so I'm going to read those as well. The CDP classes will be offered at the conference during that first training Monday, which is the same day we're doing Main Street 101. That's the training day. And the topics are planning and land use for downtowns, and then funding, resources, and tools too. So you can register for those through the conference, just like you would our Main Street 101 or anything else. I also know that they're doing, I think, basic DDA and advanced DDA that day. So you have like full first training day that has all kinds of topics. The Georgia Downtown Conference is coming up on the 25th through the 28th of August. Registration hotel room blocks are live. Have a great conference lined up in Gainesville and hope everyone will join. And then again, I have a registration link for y'all. Then it says, start pulling together your auction items for the silent auction at the conference to benefit the Adam Edge Scholarship. So if you have want to make a basket, I think everyone who has been has seen the silent auction items, and they're all like such great things. So definitely bring something that represents your community for that silent auction. And then be sure to follow the Georgia Downtown Association on Facebook and Instagram. They have a new social media manager, and you may have noticed your town featured recently. So that is all of our updates from GDA. And then, so now I'm going to turn it over. We are thrilled to welcome today's guest speakers. We have Alyson Moffitt from Downtown Carrollton, and April Saunders will be here in a few minutes. But to join her. But Carrollton has been doing some incredible work in recent years to reimagine and revitalize their public spaces. And so today, Alyson and April are going to be sharing with y'all the insights from their project, transforming a downtown alleyway, as well as efforts to declutter and activate Adamson Square. And so this is just a great example that we wanted to share with the network of creative problem solving and place-based design in action. And so we're just really excited to learn from their experience. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Alyson. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I am going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, thanks so much for having us. April will be here soon. You guys kind of understand summertime and shuffling kids between camp and camp. So she will be here soon. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
I'm just making sure. Okay, cool. So we thought the easiest way to kind of showcase some of these projects is just to show like a before and after slide. And then of course, any questions you guys have, like just holler. So one of the things that we were asked to kind of speak about would be cleaning up and decluttering our downtown. If you've never been to Carrollton, our core downtown is a main square, and it has 4 quads in it. This is a before picture of one of our quads, and it actually doesn't look that bad. But this is just kind of an example of what we considered clutter. There were a lot of pine straw and leaves that were underneath these giant oak trees that we have. These oak trees are 30 plus years old. They're very established, and so they create a lot of clutter, especially in the fall. Some of our quads had these chains that were up around, again, from years and years ago. We had these smoking canisters that were very large. And this one is kind of pushed back, but a lot of them were front and center. So when you walk through our downtown, it just screamed smoke here. And then there were like just random broken pieces places. We had trash cans, these older trash cans that, again, were just kind of front and center, not in the best places. And they just contributed to this overall kind of junky look. And you can also see in the background of this picture, some of our merchants have their own tables and chairs. And so it just kind of, more and more and more, it just really starts to clutter up the space. And again, this picture is really not as bad as it usually looks. So it was the best one I could find for now. But this is an example of our after. So you can really note, I'll just let you know with the leaves and the pine straw, if you'll look underneath the bench, you can see how much sidewalk that we gained back by installing this rubber mulch project. This rubber mulch is very similar to what you would find at your, McDonald's playground, things like that. It's kind of squishy a little bit, and it's a rubber mulch project. product. And so creating that, you know, taking up all that pine straw, and it's easier for our Parks and Rec team to blow off that material. You can walk on that material. It's just, it cleans up, and it gave us a lot of our sidewalk back. We took down the chains. We actually moved, there was a bike rack in some of these quads in that area. The benches did not move, but we did add no smoking decals to those. We removed the large smoking receptacles that just, you know, we're trying to discourage smoking on Adamson Square. We don't have like a formal ordinance or anything like that in place, but we are just discouraging our property and business owners from smoking on Adamson Square. So we partnered with Keep Your Old Beautiful, who gave us these smaller cigarette butt receptacles, and we attached them to the side of our new trash cans. And so it's a more discreet place to put your cigarette butts. It's not screaming, come smoke here. Like I said, we put the smoking decals on the benches themselves to just, again, kind of help reinforce, like, guys, please don't smoke here. Please go smoke behind the quads, like in the back alleys. Some other things that we did to kind of clean up the space is we relocated, there was a little free library on the right over there, and we moved that to a more accessible place behind the quad and actually put two up. So we took down one and installed two. And so these are just some of the ways that we're trying to clean up, and then we're taking on a new like email and social campaign about discouraging smoking on Adamson Square proper. We're really trying to make this a family-friendly kind of place. So this one, I kind of included this project in here. I really wish April were here because this has been her pet project for a while now. We have a beautiful park right behind our downtown amphitheater, and it's called Amp Park. And this is a before of what it looked like. The dumpsters are right next to Amp Park, which is why I kind of included that photo as well. Unfortunately, a lot of our downtown residents use this park to take their pets to go to the bathroom. And so it really has just destroyed the grass. There were landmines, there was poop everywhere. It was really cluttered looking. It was a little unsafe actually around where those trees are. There's like a steep drop off right there. And so there was just a lot of area of improvement for this space. We have these awesome games and we supply game pieces, but it was just greatly underutilized, and a lot of that had to do because of the trash and the messiness of it. We also had a lot of issues with our residents and our merchants just totally abusing the dumpster spaces. We had a lot of issues with folks putting the trash in the dumpster as opposed to just outside the dumpster. So something we're doing to mitigate that is we're just like, look, no more pets at Amp Park. And we just installed this brand new fence that goes all the way around the property. And it's also from a safety perspective as far as having small children out here. We are doing no more pets, and we've installed a artificial turf. And so again, this is a lot easier for our Parks and Rec team to help maintain this space because they're able to easily blow it off as opposed to trying to cut it and maintain the grass and things like that. We moved some of those cluttered pieces, such as those tables, out of the park space itself. And those are now able to be used by people at the amp or people walking in from downtown. We added a few new games out there, some of these like Connect 4 pieces, and then we installed a play pantry, which is really just a little free library that we purchased and put all the game pieces for all of these games. And so that kind of lives out there. And so anytime you come, you can grab a ping pong paddle, use it, and then put it back. As far as the no pets, that was a big change. And we're actually in the process of creating a dog park it's more or less a green grassy median space next to a parking lot, a little bit further down Bradley Street, and that will be called Bark on Bradley. And it'll be a great spot for our residents because we're having more and more folks move to downtown, and they'll be able to go down there and actually have a real place to let their pets go to the bathroom that isn't a play place for kids and families. And then just about the dumpster, it's actually behind that little brick wall that you see over there. We added an additional dumpster and we added a camera. So again, these were big initiatives that April was pushing to help hold folks accountable to clean up after themselves, help us keep this place clean. Both residents and merchants are doing that. And we're also in the works of a social and email campaign that really kind of drives home how to take care of our downtown. All right. Another project is, this is our AMP Alley. So the green grass area to your left over here, this is the back side of our amphitheater. This is where we program all the time. The summer is really busy for us. And then on the right is a mixed use development that has restaurants and retail and apartments. This drive through here used to be an active street, and there would be, you can see how close the seating is to the street, and you can see how close we are to the amphitheater. And so we would have a lot of kids and families using this space, but then also have active traffic. So it just wasn't a good mix. And it was just kind of boring and ugly, honestly. So this is a fun new picture we had taken. So what we did is we added lights across there. We closed it off to traffic. There are bollards that are on either end of it. And those are removable bollards. So you can, if we needed to have a vehicle load in or pull through, you can still access it with vehicle traffic. But for day to day, it has bollards on either end. We purchased new tables and chairs and these umbrellas, and they go the full length of the alleyway, and it's just public seating. We partner with the restaurants that are in that mixed use building to kind of help us keep them clean and keep them tidy. But honestly, you can grab a drink, you can grab food, and you can come and hang out in this pedestrian walkway now that's a lot safer for our families. And it's a lot more utilized now. Like, it's an active space. It was passive, now it's active. And also to kind of make it tie in with downtown, we added this brick paverway material on top of the asphalt. So I kind of like to think of it as like a stencil kind of thing. And so it appears as if it is a, brick pedestrian walkway. And so we have finally tied up, we bought the last couple of tables and chairs for this project this past winter. And so this one is pretty much good to go. We added brand new uplighting and things like that to it. And like I said, this just really transformed a boring, dangerous area into a more utilized and active space. And then the last project I was going to show you guys is this new parklet that we did. I know we had a lot of interest in our parklet when we had mobilized Main Street, I think a year and a half ago. This is a photo of this street is called Bradley Street, and this this is Local Ties Brewing, and there was 3 parking spots directly in front. You can see where the red truck is parked. We also had these really tall overgrown holly trees, which left a ton of red berries everywhere. And folks coming out of this side street over here on your left, it just kind of created a blind drive with all of the parallel parking right there in the front. So during our downtown master plan project, we saw an immediate need that we could meet as far as purchasing a movable parklet. So this is what the movable parklet looked like. And for any of you that did come for that mobilized Main Street, this was in place when you guys were there. It comes as a kit. You can kind of see on the right over there, and it was installed and kind of snapped together. And then we purchased these tables and chairs to kind of put on top. And our Parks and Rec department worked with us as far as the landscaping on there. And this provided public seating. I know it's in front of the brewery, but it is public seating. Anyone can sit here. And it just kind of created a safer place use of those 3 parking spots that were right there. And so now this is brand new. This just got finished a couple weeks ago. This is our permanent parklet. That you can see where we extended the sidewalk and added more of the tables and chairs. These are the tables and chairs that are also in the AMP Alley, which is directly across the street. If you see over there where those red umbrellas are in the background of this picture, that's the AMP Alley space. And it also kind of narrows that traffic right in there. So folks aren't like flying through here as fast as they used to be. It helps open up that sight line. You can see from folks turning right or left out of that street. And so our Parks and Rec also helped us like with the landscaping and keeping it pretty. This is a brand new project that we're really excited just came online. And it also was in partnership with like new landscaping along Bradley Street. So this is just a really busy area for us, the amphitheater across the street, the brewery right here, and then that mixed use development in the background. And so this is just a great space for us. Again, it's public seating. Anyone can come hang out here. And it really just kind of helps visually, improve that Bradley Street area. So I think, yeah, that was it. So I know that was really quick, and I'm sorry April wasn't able to come and help talk about these, but I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions or wanted me to go back through any of those slides for you.
I have a question, Alyson.
Yeah.
This is Ginger Melton. I'm the Main Street Manager for the City of College Park.
Hi.
You did a great job. I like the before and after pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a parklet as well on Main Street in College Park. And I noticed how you changed the flooring, because we have that old flooring where we have concrete, then we have the metal grid, then we have tiles, and we have to constantly replace those tiles when they break, because women get their heels caught in all those different compartments. I want to know, who did you use to make that change as far as the flooring?
So the flooring was purchased with the kit itself. To my knowledge, we didn't have to replace any of those tiles. I know that there were options when you purchased it as far as what kind of tiles you wanted for that flooring. I'm not exactly sure if any additional tiles were purchased or had to be replaced, but I can find out for you and email you if I find out.
Perfect. What is your email address and phone number? I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. I'm going to give you the downtown email address because both April and I both see that. And she might have a better answer for you for that. But our email is downtown@carrollton-ga.gov.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Alyson.
Yeah, no problem.
One other question.
Yeah.
The lighting. Did you use I use lights over lantern for certain things in College Park, the bistro lights. And that was a great idea. Who did you use for that?
So we have a local company called Illuminated Productions, and they did all of that lighting for us, as far as the bistro lighting and then also the up lights that were on those trees. They did all that for us.
Okay. Thank you so much. Great job.
No,
we have a question in the chat. Excuse me. It says, can you let them know where you got the outside games from?
Yes. The permanent games that we got were through Corcat. That is also a local company here in Carrollton, and Korkat is who we got those from. And then the little Connect 4 games we just ordered off Amazon.
Does anybody else have any more questions?
Yeah, hey, this is Tracy.
Oh, perfect. Go ahead.
In Region 3. The 3 parking spaces that were up front that you used for the parklet, it looked like there was tons of angled parking on the other side of the street, and I couldn't tell what was around the corner. But was there any pushback of, oh, you're taking away the 3 versus you're clearing the windows of our brewery, and now you have a beautiful view into what we have?
Yeah. Well, everyone thinks like, oh my gosh, you're taking away parking. But in all honesty, it was 3 spots. We have been doing an initiative to restripe some of our parking lots so that it's more apparent how many parking spots we do have. But honestly, because it was such a blind drive right there, when you're pulling out and you're trying to make a right or a left and you can't see to your left, it was more of a danger. And I think folks were in more of agreement than uproar about that. And luckily it was only 3 that we took away right there. And then, like I said, we are in the process of restriping some of our other public lots, so it's more apparent where you can park. And we're kind of taking a page out of a few of y'all's books as far as having an online parking map. And so we're in the works of doing that, where we're showing exactly how many spots are in different lots, street parking, things like that. But I guess the short answer is we didn't get too much pushback because of how dangerous it is right there.
Awesome. Great success.
Thank you.
Allie, speaking of pushback, I know we talked about this back in March, but tell us about, if any, there was pushback from the downtown merchants when y'all made Adamson Square like non-smoking and all that. Did the public have a problem with it? Did the merchants? Because I know a lot of people like to stand outside and when they're working.
Yes. To be truthful, like, it's an ongoing struggle. Our biggest offenders, ironically, are our merchants. They're the ones that we see the most smoking outside of our businesses, and it's just not a clean or family-friendly environment. So we see most of it around a specific hair salon where folks will just go take their break and things like that. So we're really trying to be intentional about having conversations with folks about, please don't smoke here, smoke in the peripheral spots of downtown. But it's really an ongoing challenge, and it really hasn't been solved 100% just yet. But we're hoping with more smoking, like more signage, more receptacles, more awareness of we don't want smoking on our downtown. It really kind of, when you see someone smoking, it's like, dude, there's a sign right there. So, and also just helping put those receptacles in places where I'm like, please move to the outskirts of most of our quads, like when they come to a corner, there's a pass through to access a back parking lot. And back there is where we're trying to encourage folks to go, instead of being on the square proper.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to say that, no one smokes on the square anymore, but it's really just an ongoing conversation, an ongoing battle with folks.
So there's no official like citations or anything. You're just going and talking to them and like making aware of the spots
Yes,
there.
we haven't crossed that bridge as far as like an actual ordinance or citations or anything like that just yet. We're really just trying to encourage folks to, have respect for your downtown, have respect for our visitors and our families, and take that to the outskirts. But that's as far as we're getting so far.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions, comments?
I do have a question for you. Ellen from Avondale Estates. When you have all your games and things in that one area, how does the Parks and Recs team have someone designated to manage and get them cleaned up and put back in the library, or how are you managing all that?
Honestly, most time folks will go ahead and just return the play items. The little pantry says like play and return or something cute. And a lot of times you'll see folks put those back, but I just kind of monitor that about once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'll just pop in and just see, do we need more ping pong balls? I don't put all of my items out at once so that I can replenish that. But since our Parks and Rec does service that area as far as blowing off the turf and then the flower beds and stuff, they'll let me know if things are broken or missing or something like that, or they'll just put those back for me. But typically I just kind of keep a pulse on what's in the play pantry and then what's out and then what I need to reorder. So it just kind of varies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else from anybody? No. Yes. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
And you're always welcome to email us. Like I said, at that downtown email address, we'll be happy to answer any questions or provide any contacts that might be helpful.
Okay. Well, thanks, Allie.
Thank you.
Definitely, if y'all think of anything else, drop it in the chat or just unmute yourself. But I did want to open the floor for, just if anybody had anything they wanted to run by the Hive Mind, or, if you have a fun event coming up this weekend for Juneteenth, if anybody has anything they want to share, we want to open the floor for everybody. So, and if no one speaks, I'm going to call somebody out. I know y'all have stuff happening. It doesn't have to be Juneteenth. It can be just a fun downtown event.
We've got Ellen, we're fortunate to be part of the All-American Cities competition. It's going to be in Denver. It's put on by who's hosts it?
The National Civic League.
National Civic League. So we're one of 25. We'll be leaving in about a week and have a good team going. We're the only one from Georgia. Last year, I believe Watkinsville was a part of it. So we've got a competition. It's some pretty heavy hitters out there from Austin to Texas to you know who, and but we're pretty excited about it, and hopefully something good will come out of it.
Yeah, you'll have to keep us updated. So tell us what do you like if you win, what happens?
I think we get $50,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for it?
Oh, I'm sure the city does. This is a collaborative
This is a
effort.
big, it's us, the Georgia Southern, the city, the convention of Vigor, the chamber. It was a real collaborative effort. And so, I mean, you got to do a skit and a play, and you bring our PR team and all that stuff. So I don't know, Elena's going to be going. She'll let us know what it's like when she gets back.
Yeah, that's fun. While y'all are talking, do you want to mention your Georgia Power retail? Didn't you get a retail ready? Didn't I see y'all post something about that?
Yeah.
Tell us what that is.
Yeah, we're the first one for Georgia Power has done for kind of a small, mid-sized communities for retail ready. They've got a program that they've used us as a pilot program. We're fortunate that we've got our regional rep and our district rep and all of that, and we had started putting some things in place. For retail recruitment, we've got the Hyundai plant, which is causing a lot of excitement, good and bad. But we have our city, and along with the Development Authority and our County Development Authority, they hired a retail recruiter in this environment. And so we were able to partner with them. It is a pilot program. They've got 3. We're the first one, and then they're kind of using us to kind of figure out best how we work with retail strategies. So they get in a lot of the weeds, which we're all familiar with, gap analysis and leakage and opportunity and resource asset management from property to the businesses you have, and gets into a lot of things like demographics, consumer spending, drive time, distance, all those kind of things. But you're putting a package together to sell to what you hope to be retailers that you don't have in your community or don't have enough of. And they'll also help identify maybe potential regional and national vendors that could possibly fit well into that. And then you figure out how to best sell that. Because it is obviously, we all know, it's a very competitive environment. And sometimes, especially if you're a college place, the numbers are skewed. So you really have to work to kind of, surprisingly, you have to educate the site developers in exactly why this is a good spot. So we had it took us 10 years to get a Publix. It was pretty much Walmart dominated. But after a lot of work, and we were able to get one, and it is, we're part of a Placer ID, so we do some research, and our Publix is the #1 Publix in the nation in terms of visits. So we knew it'd be strong, but it's we had to work to make that presentation, and obviously we knew it would pay off, but they didn't think it would pay off like it did. But they're very happy, and we're happy, and so it's those little incremental successes that help us tell the next story to the next group. So. Yeah, it was. We're pretty excited about it. We're glad to be a part of the initial study and the groundbreaking of that. But we are, a retail ready community.
Yeah, you have to again when kind of it all shakes out, you have to come back and let us know how successful it was, and how downtown benefited as well, because
absolutely
retail follows people. So yeah, definitely, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Awesome. Anybody else? Fun events? Anything cool happening? Belinda? Hi.
Hey, sorry I was late. We switched our DDA meeting to now today at 9, and then this meeting got switched, so sorry about that. I just want to shout out about our farmers market. I'm telling you, it is absolutely amazing. We started on May 31st, and opening day, we had over 3,000 people in attendance. Placer gave us that. And that is huge. We had right at 60 vendors. We are a grower and food vendor only market, so that's not crafters or anything like that. The second week, we had a little less because opening day is always your biggest. But what we've done is we've noticed now that we are pulling in a lot of people from outside the area. So what we've done is we've reached out to all of our businesses, really our restaurants, and saying, hey, we want to make this card that we want to be able to give a flyer or whatever. And we have a bag sponsor that sits at the very beginning of the market. And we want to give that flyer out to everybody that participates at the market and attends, saying, hey, go and visit this business or this restaurant for lunch. And anytime between now and August 30th, which is the last day of our market, receive 20% off of your visit, excluding alcohol, so that we can get people moving throughout the downtown and not just be a market attendee and then just leave, so that all of our businesses are reaping the benefit of people visiting us. But yeah, it's just a really cool thing. So
I love that. That's such a good idea. It's always hard to have events that have outside vendors and then your downtown is like, what about us? It's just bringing in people to use the restroom. So that's
True.
awesome that you're doing that.
And with our market, we are really in Brown Park. For the ones that have visited Canton, it's basically one block off of the core downtown where the gazebo is. So a lot of people, especially on opening day, we had to pull placer numbers for 3 blocks because people were parking all outside of the downtown area, which made us realize they're walking and they're crossing in front of those businesses to get to us. We have got to now put them back into those doors. And so that's just kind of what happened. And we don't want the businesses to feel left out. We took the market and it is not right in front of your door. So now we've got to put people, give them an opportunity to come back to your door. So that's the whole plan.
Yeah. Love it.
I like to share too, if there's still time.
Hi. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, sorry I have my camera on. I moved to a new office, so I'm still figuring out the camera situation.
Okay.
But great job, Belinda. Always happy to hear from you and everyone here on the call. We've had a really great couple of months. Last April, we did one of our signature events is a guided tour of our downtown. And that was really fun to incorporate the downtown businesses and share like the history of some of the buildings, which are as old as like late 1800s, 1900s. Like we're talking like old pharmacies and like the first saloon in Douglasville, like these kind of buildings. And that was a great way to meet new people in the downtown, people who've lived here their whole lives but never like been to downtown Douglasville, as well as new residents who like are first time homeowners who wanted to be more a part of the community. So that was great in April. And from May to August, we're doing once a month our Food Truck and Music Mondays. And they've been very successful. We've had a great time running them. Our first one landed on Cinco de Mayo. So we did a Cinco themed Food Truck Monday, which was very successful. We did entertainment district, played Latin music, and in the same tone of like supporting the downtown businesses, you're just bringing folks to use the bathroom. We were able to invite the downtown businesses who were on our main street and the street behind it to be vendors at the event. So they would like, if their shops were already closed on the Monday, they would close their shops and just bring their goods out and a table and a tent to the plaza. And it was a great way for them to introduce themselves to different community members and families. I had different business owners, like boutique owners, tell me like, one may say like I made like 1 or 2 sales, but now people are coming back to my store several days after, or I made some pretty good sales, or was able to just get my name out there and like pass out different like one boutique had the scratch offs that he's passed out to different people at the event. So even if they didn't buy anything, they came back because they got a scratch off and got like 10% off this, 5% off that. So we have another one for July 7th, and that'll be our cookout theme for July for the summer. And then we do our last one, August 4th, and that's a back to school theme. So it's been pretty cool to see how these events have evolved and grown in the year and like month I've been here.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that idea. Definitely a
Thank
great
you.
way to get the community, people are sometimes scared to walk into a place they're unfamiliar with, but if they kind of have that first interaction, it's a little easier. So I love that.
Yeah, it's just a more casual way to introduce these businesses to people to downtown who aren't familiar with like the non-dining aspect of downtown.
I love that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Well, I want to give a shout out to one of our very newest classic Main Street communities, Wendy Ingram and Lafayette. We just congratulated them on a job well done. They have moved up from a affiliate to classic, and so I just want to give a shout out to her. I know she's on the call. If you want to say something, Wendy, we're super excited for you and proud of you and your community. She may not be listening to me. You're muted. That's what it is. Okay, hang on. I think I can unmute you. Oh, I cannot unmute you.
I found it. Hey,
Okay.
I found it. Sorry, it was just in a different location. Yes, we are so excited to be designated as a classic Main Street. And of course, that's never enough. I've got to keep moving till we're a Jim's, or someone will be a Jim's if I'm not here, because, this is my second job. I love this though. And thank you. It was such an amazing opportunity to get to share with you all the things that are happening. And I hated I was late to today's meeting, so I'll go back and watch the video. I'm assuming y'all will upload it on YouTube later, because I really get so much from these meetings, and I've stolen a lot of y'all's great ideas, and I always try to emulate what you're doing. So I love it now that I've been with Downtown almost 2 years. As a matter of fact, I was just in Statesboro not too long ago, and I went to their farmers market, and I'm stealing an idea from their Visitors and Conventions Bureau, which used to be the old Shoney's when I was in college there. But I went in and I loved getting to see this idea they had of the map, and you could just put a little pin on where you're from. And so we're going to use that this weekend in a culture fest that we're having downtown. And I was also proud to be the first one to put a pin on the city of Lafayette, Georgia. So anyway, I just love hearing all the things that y'all are doing in your towns. And then I just want to do them all really fast in our town. But, progress is a slow and steady pace. But you all are amazing. And so thank you, Ellen, and thank you to everybody at DCA, but also fellow Main Street managers. I mean, the work that you do is amazing. And oftentimes you're the one doing it, the sweat equity. And, it's just such a great experience to have all of you to reach out to. And thank you. The process of going through that, I was stressed to the hilt, but it was okay because we got great things going on. So it's always fun to share about your town. So thank you. Thanks, Ellen.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It was a great presentation. We're excited to have you into the classic fold. So very exciting. Yeah.
I just wanted to jump in and give a nod to that wonderful mural that y'all have done in Lafayette. It is just so gorgeous. I took so many pictures and posed like I was a kayaker or a rock climber or whatever. And I think it's just a beautiful addition. Really, really attracts people.
Yep. Anybody else want to share? I have one more shout out if not. Okay, Lauren Singleton, are you on this call? I see your name right there. Will you share with us your fun out of the box idea for your board?
Yes. So ever since I started working in Eatonton, something was off. When I worked in Covington, when I worked in McDonough, I felt the love and the passion that everyone had for the community and for their downtown. But when I started in Eatonton, something was just off, and I couldn't figure it out until I ran across a book. Some of you are part of the Downtown Happy Hour Facebook group, and I saw this mentioned in that Facebook group, and it's called Your City is Sick. And I had my board read it, and they loved it. And I won't say it changed their lives, but it completely changed their perspective of downtown and the city. And we had a huge discussion about it, and I actually emailed the author and linked up with him, and he's very excited. Hopefully we can get him down here. He said he's never been to Georgia before, so hopefully Eatonton can be his first Georgia city. But if you guys are dealing with civic apathy in your downtown, I highly recommend Your City is Sick by Jeff Siegler. He's also the mastermind behind the Facebook page Revitalize or Die. So I highly recommend the book.
Yeah, it was a great idea. And I thought that it was really a smart way for the board to, like, I mean, you know, everybody gets sick of the same old in a board meeting, and you go through your agenda and then you leave. But I felt like this was a really great way for them to shake it up, but to also have a learning opportunity. And then to hopefully, you know, light a fire under them to make a change and start being a little bit more active with your board. So I thought that was a fantastic idea. It was, you know, a little bit outside of the box. It was, you know, I loved it. So you sent me that email. She sent me an email and told me, like, this was so great. Like, my board loved it and was kind of giving this update, and I forwarded it to the team. And I was like, I love that she was thinking like this and getting her board to do that. So shout out to you. And the whole team was like, yes, we love this idea. So good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, very welcome. All right, one last call. Updates. We got about 10 minutes left. If not, y'all can hop off and let you have the rest of your day. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. And we'll, yeah, Ebony and I'll stay on the call after too. So if anybody has anything else they want to share, speak up. If not, we'll let you have your day. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.